Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 11th to the 17th of February 2019. We begin the week with Mercury moving into Pisces. Now, in classical astrology, this is said to be detrimental, as the scientific world relies on having a rational, logical and linear brain. It relies on the mind to sort out problems and to plan forwards. But Mercury in Pisces calls us into our intuition, into our real wisdom and our real knowledge. So it's not that detrimental, it's actually saying turn inwards, a bit like a Mercury retrograde, in order to feel, in order to trust your intuition, in order to see the bigger picture, and tune into the greater cycles of time, not forcing forwards, turning down the volume of the mind and listening, stopping long enough to be able to receive messages and feel their intrinsic value. So listening to the small voice within rather than the chattering mind is what Mercury in Pisces asks us to do, and this will be in effect over the next few weeks. There's a sense of inner peace with this aspect as well, because we can turn down the volume, we can turn down the bright colour, we can step away from the stream of consciousness of our mind and take time every day to really tune in and feel, connect with our emotional intelligence and listen to the universal wisdom that's always there, but more of a whisper than a shout. We also affect the outside world with our thoughts, not just the ones that we act upon, but the ones that create a field around our head anyway, because our thoughts leave our body as frequency, and we can actually hold friction and tension with people or situations remotely. So we're brought up to believe that the thoughts are in our head and nobody can tell what we're thinking, that kind of thing, but the atmosphere is very much thinner now. We're manifesting a lot more quickly, so maybe take this as an opportunity to take responsibility for what you're thinking and to clear up any negativity, projection or attack that might be causing a friction field around you or confusion in situations. Because as we go forwards this year, Uranus is moving into Taurus in March, and there will be a liberation, learning how to go from the head to the heart, which will be invaluable. But for now we may as well stay with Mercury in Pisces and swim around in the waters of our intuition, connect to our soul's communication, and learn to monitor what we're thinking and saying. Make sure it's true. Make sure we're taking in the bigger picture. And very much a surrender with Pisces. The modern world has everybody trying to control too much, especially with the mind. It's a very difficult task for many to A, get out of the head, and B, surrender, to loosen our grip, our mental grip, long enough to see what is actually manifesting, rather than hyper-controlling and planning everything. So the Age of Aquarius asks us to take responsibility for the frequencies we're transmitting, both from the mind and the heart. Uranus will clean up the heart later on, but now we're just looking at what waters are you swimming around in your mind. Are they bright? Are they stagnant? Are they refreshing? Or are they toxic? And imagine a world where everybody did this, took responsibility for what they're thinking, what they're saying, what they're doing and what they're feeling. We'd have almost none of the problems that we do today. So we've been put into this mind trap, and now's the time to get out of it. Slow down and to start to listen to what feels right, to our intuition, and to receive invaluable messages in the process. So this week ramps up to some very high voltage energy towards the end of the week, so we may as well focus on inner peace on Monday and Tuesday. Find small moments throughout the day to reset to a pure state of being before life's complications and mental chatter invade. By stopping and surrendering and listening, it's in these silent moments that we actually receive inspiration. We actually communicate with our soul mind rather than our limited mind. Because by Wednesday we have Mars meeting with Uranus at the end degrees of Aries, and this is very high voltage energy. For the last 7 years, Uranus has been going through the sign of Aries, rewiring our brains, bringing sudden change, new perspective and vision for the future. This has not been a necessarily comfortable aspect, as Uranus blasts out anything that's outdated and restrictive in order to make room for the new energy to come in. But by March, Uranus will be moving into Taurus, and this is going to be a liberation of the heart. But until then, we can clear up. What have we learnt? What's changed? Have we changed our perspective? Have we had any revelations? And have we adjusted our worldview accordingly? Have we become independent thinkers? Or are we still believing the narrative that's fed to us? Because it's one thing to be sold a lie. It's a completely different thing to buy into the lie. So very truthful over the last 7 years. Very liberating as well. But we have had to let go of the old. But when Mars meets with Uranus, this is just going to ignite that. This is the final blast. So I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday might be quite high voltage. You'll see this reflected in the outside world as well. So if we've found those small and quiet moments on Monday and Tuesday, then maybe there's time to just reconnect with those if things get a little bit hot-headed. There could be anger, there could be rash decisions, there could be people going head-on. But as with all astrological aspects, there is our ability to know this in advance and to be able to work with the energy. So with Mars meeting Uranus in Aries, we can channel that vibrant, fresh energy. We can boost our energy body. It can actually be a conduit for that high voltage if we harness it and use it wisely, avoiding conflict and any rashness in the process. So keeping to that peaceful place inside and learning to channel that energy would be better than to engage with any head-on activity from Wednesday to Friday. Mars moves into Taurus on Thursday, so this is a slow down, observe, and a review of how we use our daily energy. Tend to take it for granted, but what is your worth inside and out is what Mars will be asking in Taurus. Have a look at how you spend your energy every day. Are you running around? Are you frazzled? Are you exhausted? Do you prioritise mundane tasks and ignore your real desires and passions? Because for the next 8 weeks or so, Mars moving through Taurus is preparing us for Uranus to follow, and we are looking at nourishing, slow, productive energy, which goes very, very well with the year of the Earth Pig. So have you got your sights on the real gold? And do you even value your inner gold and your energy? So a right slow down there. If things on the outside are a little bit fractious in the week, then centre very much deeply and observe. Inaction is sometimes an option. And with Mars in Aries, there's that outward action, but inward action with Mars in Taurus is definitely an option. And as at the beginning of the week, when we do slow down, we can receive ancient wisdom. So universal truth is true over huge spans of time, yet much of what we see as truth in our modern lives is just a lesson that we're learning currently. So learning to distinguish between the two, really. Is it truly true, or is it just currently true? And if so, what did you want to experience from that story? Could be a good way of looking at Friday, if anything has come up with high energy on Wednesday and Thursday. Just have a look at it over a longer span of time. Is it true forever, or is it just true for that particular moment? Mercury in Pisces comes back in at the weekend after we've had this crescendo of a week, and all the important answers can be found within. We always have more than we know, in our intuition, in our natural ability to expand or contract, to feel instantly before any words or thoughts have come in, whether something's true or not, or right or not. So we're diving back into that Piscean pool by the weekend, and where our mind may have been engaged midweek, we can now sum up the bigger picture, how we truly feel, and filter out. Pisces is a very filtering sign. Filter out wrong thoughts, or where we've taken things too personally, and process what we wanted to learn from the experience. So quite a complex week there, and there are some other explosive moments like this coming in the year, but on the whole we are walking into a slower, deeper and more purposeful energy. I have a talk which is available as an MP3 for £5, which is a 1.5 hour talk with all intentions for the new moons and the spirit of each month and the key dates, so that you can have a framework to navigate, and then these videos are filling in some of the detail. Or you're very welcome to come to my tarot club on Tuesday night, which is going to be a very warm and safe, friendly environment to explore all aspects of tarot. All levels welcome, and the numbers are being kept very small. So I invite you to that, or to come and connect with me on social media, AstroZo on Facebook, www.astrozo for my webpage, zoehine7@gmail.com if you'd like to email me, and zoehine7 on Instagram, where I post every day, along with Facebook. So if you'd like a reading, or you'd like to explore the tarot or any of my meetups more, then please do come and connect with me in any of those ways, and we can arrange a plan for you that suits your time and budget. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week.